Hello everyone, my name is Harsh and a very warm welcome to all of you in this block state management course. And in this video, we will learn how we can create multiple objects in a single state and use it. Okay, till now what we were doing is we were creating a block or a qubit and passing a single state to it, like a integer or any another state. But now what we want is we want to create two different state or two different variables or objects in a single qubit or a block. So I have just created a sample app known as rating app. There is nothing super fancy about this app. There is just a block observer that we were created in the previous videos, just on create and on change. And we have initialized the block observer here. After that there is a run app and a material app inside which we were calling the rating screen. Now when we move to the rating screen, there is nothing much. There is an app bar here. There is a column in which there are two rows. Okay, so block is awesome and there is a predefined rating of 0, let's say a string. And if we go down, there is same for the qubit is awesome, and there are two upvotes button. So upvote block, upvote qubit. Now I think you have understood the purpose of this app. What we actually want is when we click on block, this should increment. When we click on qubit, this should increment. Okay, which means we want to maintain two different states and we want to show it on the screen. So we can do it either by using block or either by using qubit. So for now we are gonna use qubit just because the simplicity purpose. So I will right click on my lib and you will see an option here called as new qubit. Okay, so simply click on it and we can give a name to the qubit. So simply rating and simply hit enter. So it will create a qubit for us. And if this option doesn't show in your VS Code, you need to import this package block. Now it have created actually a qubit. There is a rating qubit here. Okay, this might look bit similar to what we have done before. Okay, rating qubit which extends rating state. So this is a bit new thing. There is something called as rating initial and there is something called as rating qubit. We will get back to it. But there is something also called as part rating state. So when we move to this rating state, which is the second file, it have created another file named rating state, which is a sealed class, and there is a final class called as rating initial and which have extended this sealed class. This is bit similar to the events that we created in block. Okay, so just for the simplicity purpose, I am gonna remove this class for now. And after that, let's say I will be removing this immutable and sealed from here. Okay, now I move to the rating qubit and it suggests rating initial is not there, so let me remove that one as well. Okay, so it is suggesting me you can't use super here. We will get back to this. And there is like you haven't imported this package block and you haven't imported this package meta actually. Okay, but it is internally imported by our Flutter block package. So if we wish, we can just remove it like this and we can add our Flutter block here. So Flutter block, and it will take care of those things. Okay, so there will be no errors. Now before moving to that qubit stuff and creating a custom state, let's try to understand a little bit about this part and this part of keyword. Now what happens is when we are working with qubit or block, a single file becomes too large to work with because there are multiple functions, there are states and other things. In case of block, there are even events written on a single file. So it is always a good practice to create a separate file to make code look bit modular, which actually we did in the previous lectures as well. Like if I don't want to use this part and this stuff, so what I will do is I will just comment this one and it will throw an error that there is no such thing as rating state. So I need to actually manually import that library. When we declare something as a part of a something, there is no need for this import statement. This whole thing internally will be treated as a single file, but as a user perspective or as a developer perspective, it will be separate files. So it reduces the code complexity. So block or qubit recommends to use part. Okay, so how it works is whatever the file which we want to make part of another file, first we go to the file. Now first, this is the file which we want to include as a part of rating qubit. So we use this keyword part of rating qubit here and then we go to the rating qubit and we say there is also a path for this file which is rating qubit. So we just use a path keyword here. If you're getting a bit confused, give yourself some time, and if you don't like this, simply use import statements. Okay, now for now let's save it up. Now one thing what you will see is there is a rating state. So rating state is nothing much, it is simply a class, okay, defined here. Now let's say we want to define two parameters in our rating state. Okay, I can say it for now, let it be int. So block score and qubit score, just two int variables, and if I wish I can make them final. Okay, because state is generally always final, so we always need to re-update these values. So there are just two variables here. Okay, if you wish you could have created string or anything else. For now I have just created two integers. Now it is throwing me an error because it is suggesting either you add a late modifier or you create a constructor with required. So I will be creating a constructor, okay, in which whenever we create an object of this, we need to pass this. So now when we move to the rating qubit, it is suggesting that you should pass the initial state of rating state. So what I will do is I will just use rating state, and I can pass an initial value for block score, and I can pass an initial value for qubit score. So this is how I just pass a default state here. Now I just need to create two functions to increase these values. So I have just created the function upvote block and upvote qubit. Okay, now inside this function, since I want to upvote block for now, so I want to increment the state of block by 1. So can I do it like this? This will not work because this is just an integer. Okay, we learned about block or qubits like this. We cannot update the state, we can always pass a new state. So we cannot update the current state, okay, we need to pass a new state. So how we do that is we need to pass something like rating state, and we need to pass the block state plus 1, and for the qubit state we need to pass something like state dot qubit score, okay, which will be the current state of the qubit because we are not updating it. So I can just add a comma here, so it will be looking bit formatted. And in case of qubit, what I will do is I will not update the block score, and I will only update the qubit score plus 1. Okay, so this is how it will work. Now moving to the rating screen, we need to actually use those state. So what I will do is I will just wrap it with a block builder for now. So wrap with a block builder, and actually I need to mention rating qubit here, and okay, so simply here rating qubit, and it is throwing me an error, okay, because I need to import Flutter block, and here simply I need to use that state. So dollar and state, this is the state that we are getting, so it is again throwing me an error. Okay, actually it is a rating state, so simply like this I can write block score, and actually I have used a const here, so that was the reason for the error. So like this, and the same I can do for the qubit as well. So what I will do is I will just copy this one from here, I will just move down, and here I will paste it. Okay, now instead of block score, I will just use qubit score here. So simply qubit score, and since I don't want to pass here block or qubit manually, so I can use the block provider here, which we created in the past videos. So simply wrap with the widget, and I can call it like a block provider, and we can use a create function here, context, and I just need to pass my qubit here, and which is rating qubit, and control save. Now I just need to restart the app. Now if I click on this upvote block, you will see nothing actually happens. If I check the terminal, only the rating qubit is being created. So actually we need to add those functionalities on the tap of those buttons. Okay, we haven't done it yet, so I can just find it like context.read. Okay, and here I just need to mention the type, so I can say rating qubit and dot upvote block, okay, like this. And same I can do for the qubit as well. So simply upvote qubit and control save, and I can open the terminal to see the logs. Now I click on block, you will see the state changes from the rating state to another rating state. and if I click on this, again the state changes. Now if you want to see what exactly changes inside this, you need to override toString function in this rating state. So I can do it like toString, and this is how we override it. So instead of this, what I can do is simply here I can print. So simply I have written a string rating state, and simply block score will be the block score and qubit score will be the qubit score. Now if I press Ctrl Save and tap on this, you will see it is showing a more elaborative stuff, okay, which we printed here. So the block score is 2 and the qubit score is 1. If I again tap on it, block score is 3, qubit score is 1, and we are able to do it. Okay, now what if there are some more here, like there is a getx score, there is a riverpod score, and for that we need to create many integers here, okay, like this. And what we also need to do is add those parameters here. What we will also need to do is whenever we emit or change even just a single value, we need to pass all the current values of the previous state. What if it automatically takes those values? It is not gonna happen. We have to pass it, but we can create a helper function through which we don't have to pass these redundant values. Okay, so if there are 5 parameters, I won't be like I just want to update a single parameter and I am thinking what will be the values for the other 4 parameters and updating it. So how we can do that with a block or a qubit? We can create something called as copyWith constructor or a copyWith method. The both will work. So what I am saying is, inside this I will just create a copyWith method for now. So what that method will do is it will return me a rating state, okay, and its name will be copyWith. And what it will be taking is, it will be taking, since we have 2 parameters here, it will be taking 2 parameters. So what I will do is I will just copy this from here, I will paste it here, and I will remove this required because I don't want to give a value to it. And instead of this block score, I will just pass int here, and here I will also pass a int, okay. And I just want to add a question mark here. This question mark simply means we can ignore those values or we can simply pass null to them, okay. So simply Ctrl Save, and here inside this we need to return the updated state. So rating state, and inside this we will pass this block score, and if this block score is null, simply pass the current block score. This means the instance which is calling this state, okay, we can pass the block score of that instance. And simply here 2 question marks and this dot qubit score, and simply a Control Save here, okay. So this will do the copy work for us. So what we can do is instead of this, now I can simply write it like this, okay. Simply the instance which is state dot, and I can use copyWith constructor or function, and simply here I can just pass the one value which I like. So since I'm just updating the block score, I will write state dot block score plus 1, okay, and this does the work for me. I don't have to write this much. I can just copy this one from here, I can just paste it here, and I can write qubit score is qubit score plus 1, okay. And now if I just restart the app and I click on upvote block, it works. I click on upvote qubit, it works, and this is awesome. So copyWith is quite a useful functionality when you don't want to pass that redundant state again and again and again. And I know this is more than enough for this video. So thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Till then, bye bye.